All right. What is up, my friends? Oh boy, they've changed some stuff. June 1st, today's date. It is June already. It's actually unbelievable. It's already June. And we got some band restricted announcement here. And a little more than that, too. So let's take a look and unpack this real quick before we start Mog Monday. And oh, yeah, the haircut video will be up on stream later. First and foremost, we have a rules change. The new companion rule. Once per game, anytime you cast a sorcery, you can pay 3 mana to put the companion from your sideboard into your hand. Special action, not an activated ability, can't be responded to, kind of similar to Leonin Arbiter. So this is a huge change, monumental change. Of course, if you watched the video I did a little while back about companions, I discussed a possible fix being to just put you down a card. So whenever you have a companion, you just have to basically force to mulligan to have the privilege of having the mechanic, having the companion off to the side. Idea being, it makes playing companions feel less like a huge advantage because you're not up a card. Would have made companions still pretty good, I think, but this is pretty different. While my solution was all about card advantage, all about equaling out the cards, so playing a companion was not a huge card advantage issue. What they've chosen to do is a tempo solution, where, of course, the two conflicting factors in Magic are tempo and card advantage, right? Some decks like Burn or a really fast deck, the best card advantage is if you're just dead, you die with 6 cards in your hand, right? So decks are trying to go fast, tempo decks, things like that, trying to make it so you don't get to use all your cards. I'm going to kill you before you do that, or I'm going to make it so you can't use your cards in some way, land destruction, things like that. So that's tempo, where the number of cards doesn't really matter. Also, tempo can be like playing a really fast, really good planeswalker really early, or creating some sort of major advantage that doesn't really care about the number of cards. And of course, card advantage is raw cards. We play a long game, I kill your thing, we trade 1 for 1, and at the end of the game, I have 2 more cards than you do, so I win. So they went for a tempo-based approach, which I think is honestly, it's very safe. I think this is going to push most companions back significantly. I would say the companions are fringe playable at this point. 3 mana is a lot. Spending 3 mana to do nothing in a constructed format's a pretty huge thing, and you can't instant speed it. It has to be main phased after your lands on your main phase, which is a pretty big cost. So I would say that this nerfs companions pretty hard. Is that a good thing? Yeah, I think kinda, honestly. And it's kind of interesting because this is a huge tempo loss, so it really makes companions much, much worse. Think about it now. Yorion cost 8, Lurrus cost 6, Obosh cost 8. So serious costs for these cards now. Whereas Lurrus was costed fairly at 3. I think playing Lurrus in your deck without the companion clause, if Lurrus was a card without companion, it'd still be very playable. So now there's some sort of tax on that, which is very interesting. This is going to say, like I said, I think make companions very, very fringe playable. It doesn't remove the issue of decks that can just play companion for free. So, for example, Gigantha in Modern Humans is essentially free. Even Lurrus in Modern Burn. So now the question is a 6 mana Lurrus worth 1 sideboard slot? Is an 8 mana Gigantha worth 1 sideboard slot? That's a more interesting question. But we'll see. This is a major, major change. Again, this makes companions, I think, very, very fringe. It also changes how companions kind of function in a way. The more expensive late game companions get a lot better, whereas the cheaper and more efficient ones get a lot worse. Lurrus is good because all your cards are cheap. So you play it on turn 3 or 4, you do a lot of stuff, multi-spell in 1 turn. Having to play a 6-drop basically in your Lurrus deck is not super appealing. So this really hurts the cheapest companions. And I would say the ones least affected are the late game ones. So I think Yorion is actually the companion that comes out of this the best. It already was one of the best companions. And now your super long game Yorion deck. So Yorion costs 8. it's still really, really good. It almost gives you more time to set up your board to make Yorion even better. So I would say that Yorion comes out of this the best. But this is a major nerf. I think this is definitely not something that I had considered, but a very interesting and creative solution. And this is necessary. I would have been honestly okay if they had just banned the mechanic in all non-standard formats as well, and just let standard be like this for a little while, and just have that be how the format looks. This is fine too. I'm kind of down with this. Honestly, I'm kind of down with this. I do think that the power level of companion should have been more in line with this. Kind of a fringe thing, a little fun to work with. Maybe not super competitive, but fun. Definitely fun for the stream. Doing a card like Gyruda should be fun for a stream, a real challenge, not just like boom, we did it. So overall, I like this. Thumbs up, Wizards. Next thing is in standard. We've got some bannings here. Notably, let's just do a little gatherer search here, or Scryfall. Let's take a quick look on Scryfall and Teferi, Time Raveler, and hit enter there. Let's see what we got here. Anything change here? And of course, the things are going really slow. I don't know why. Scryfall, I'm trying to give you a little time in the sun here. All right, well, Scryfall ruined my joke, but Teferi is still legal. Teferi is still legal. I don't really know why, honestly. At this point, it's been out long enough where I don't, it's not a new card. Everyone's sick of it. It's still playable in older formats. Like, they're really almost all the reasons that you would not want to ban a card don't seem to apply to Teferi. Still playable in older formats. Very playable. It's going to rotate reasonably soon. Everyone's had plenty of time to play with it. So it's not like your new card's getting banned. It's not like the card's going to lose total value. And everyone complains about it literally all the time. Teferi just shouldn't be a reasonable thing. They're making way for new Teferis in Core Set 2021. Just like Chandra was the face of Core Set 20. Having Teferi be the face of Core Set 2021. Probably have an uncommon, rare, and then Mythic Planeswalker. I'm not really. I just can't really find a good reason why they didn't ban Teferi. I do think that banning Teferi would mean you also have to ban Reclamation, but I think banning Reclamation and Teferi is also fine. So ban Teferi and Reclamation in addition to this, and also realistically, we're not playing much paper Magic right now, and the turnover for cards online is much easier and much faster. You can just sell your cards and buy your cards and whatever. Than it is in paper. So with that being said, I'm almost okay with a little more liberal bannings during this pandemic, during the times we're not playing a lot of paper Magic. But so Teferi not being banned, couldn't even tell you, honestly. I struggle to see a good argument for Teferi not being banned, and I believe they don't mention it at all in here, which we'll go over. So that not too happy about. And banning 4 cards at once. I mean, they banned 4 cards previously with the Rogue Refiner, or no, was the one they banned 4? I don't even know. But so yeah, that's one thing. Agent Treachery is banned, and I wish we had some card images. But banning Agent is interesting. Usually you ban the Enabler, Winona Ryder, and Luca. I think banning Agent's fine though. The card's obnoxious. You get turn 3 Agent on the play. It's just not fun. It's just not a reasonable thing. They don't print 3 mana Stone Rains. I shouldn't have my land stolen on turn 3. Simple as that. And without Agent of Treachery as a legal card in the format, both Luca and Winona Ryder are pretty fun, interesting cards, I think. So I'm pretty cool with this. It's kind of a weird ban, honestly. It's a pretty focused ban. But I'm cool with this. The big one here is Fire's Invention being banned also. So Fire's Invention, of course, one of the key cards in Standard for a long time. The card's very, very good. Been played in multiple decks. Played a lot in the Yorion decks as well. It's kind of a weird here because they're banning cards but also nerfing the Companion mechanic. And right now, Companion is just basically 90% of Standard. So it's hard to judge. We have a sort of issue here of like, what's the real problem? We're banning 2 things at once. We're not really sure what's going to happen. Or I guess not banning, but changing 2 things at once. But I would much rather have seen Teferi banned than Fires, personally. I think, honestly, Teferi is a key card in almost every Fires deck. So this confuses me a little bit. I think I might have preferred Teferi going in place of Fires and then seeing it go from there, but not sure. This is a little perplexing to me. I love the new companion rule. I think banning Agent's great, but not banning Teferi and then banning Fires is a little weird. I think that WotC needs to examine their mana doubling. It's funny. Someone joked on Twitter, that Mirari's Wake, popular old card, Mirari's Wake, very important card in Standard when it was legal, a million years ago, was in the Historic Anthology 3, and someone joked that if Mirari's Wake had been reprinted in Standard, it would be like the 4th best Mirari's Wake in the format, which is pretty funny. They are doing some construction below me. I apologize. We're in the new house, and the contractor's here working on our laundry room, which is below me, unfortunately. So, hashtag deal with it. So that's that. Historic. We can go over the little info here, but Historic, Agent suspended, Fire suspended. I'm not even sure what suspended means. I think it means it's like banned but being watched right now. I'll play much Historic. This is reasonable. Winona, obviously very good in Historic as well. So they're like soft banned, sure, which doesn't even. I guess it's like an interesting way to do it. We're gonna try ban for a while and see how it looks. It's kind of cool. I'm kind of down with that idea. And they're doing this because Historic is an online only format. So if a card's banned and then unbanned and then banned and then unbanned in paper, you're like, what the hell, man? I sold my Teferi because you banned them and now we're legal again. What are you doing? But having things bounce back and forth on Arena kind of makes sense. So I'm cool with this. I don't play much Historic, so I'm not super up on like what it should be or what it shouldn't be right now. I'm cool with that. Annoying that these things take a little long to actually to do online, but I understand that. They're changing a rule. It makes sense, So companion rules change. Obviously, I'll put a link to this in chat. You can read this to your leisure. It should not be hard to find. So once again, new companion rule. You can't Phyrexian Revoker it. You can't, affect it in any way. It just happens, can't be countered, etc., etc. Pretty happy with all this. Standard, of course, Fires. And the fact that they do not discuss Teferi in this standard paragraph. Come on. What do you to read the room? Come on. But and then Historic, whatever. Player collections. We get wild cards for the cards that are banned. Pretty cool. Again, this stuff is much easier to do on online stuff, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's basically that's the announcement. So all in all, I think this is a mostly positive change. Again, I think the new companion rule is very good. It pushes the companions to fringe playability, which is where they had to be. I don't think you can make the companion mechanic and have it be a centerpiece. It's too fundamentally broken. Your options are make it a centerpiece, but print 100 of them and have them all be very balanced, which is extremely difficult to do for a number of reasons, or make it kind of a narrow, fun thing for players to kind of finagle with, but not super competitive. And that's it. So that's what I got. Everyone, thanks for watching. Of course, I appreciate that. For your stream folks, Mog Monday's coming up. And if you're YouTube folks, look for Mog Monday later in the day. Of course, Mog Monday every Monday. And yeah, that's what I got. So YouTube folks, take a second, like, comment, subscribe. I love you all. Thanks for watching. And they didn't take it wasn't just my idea. Others had said it too, of the -1 card. They went in a totally different direction. And if anything more nerfy than my idea. So YouTube folks, like, comment, subscribe. I love you. Thanks for watching.